Let us turn to page 3 of the book. Setting a proper motivation for this class. So while this is what we're doing here is like a mixture of the academic and spiritual. Spiritual doesn't mean say belonging to some category, but more in line with say your own thinking. See how much we can change your thinking, and then on that basis see how much you maintain peace, calmness, happiness, and precisely at times of challenges, how to deal with your problems. So this is what is expected. What is expected for us to learn from this. Rebecca, come here. Rebecca, come here. Easier for you. Okay, with this in mind, let's turn to page 3 of the book, and let us. Some of these stanzas are quite technical, but eventually we should learn. We should know the meanings of all these stanzas. And okay, whatever you understand, this is more like say for the first maybe 1 or 2 months we will go through these stanzas, and later on as we learn more about the technicalities, then we'll try to unfold the meaning of these verses as well. So with that in mind, setting proper motivation, just invoke all the enlightened beings, who are great inspiration, whosoever are your inspirations in terms of compassion, in terms of wisdom, in terms of understanding, in terms of the openness of your thinking and consideration and so forth. Whosoever is or are your inspiration, just bring them in your mind, in front of the sky in front of you. And also visualize your 2 grandparents on your 2 sides, and all your family members, including children, and everyone in this universe around you. And why the world is going through this problem is all because of the wrong way of thinking. And the moment we learn how to undo these wrong ways of thinking, then automatically we can see the world very differently. Very compassionate, very happy, harmonious, and understanding, and so forth. Okay, with that in mind, let's turn to page 3, and you are leading this, and everyone is happily joining you. And teach by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And teach by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And teach by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, one who taught this peace which is freed of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, who through the knowledge of all these hearers see pacification, complete peace, who through the knowledge of past cause the souls there and bring their greatest to achieve the aims of the world, and who through possession of nations help subduers expound the varieties of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata and protector to aim restorations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays. To you, the Buddha, I make restorations. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice, giving, and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye Joda Zoge Chonam La Chanjo Bardo Dani Gyalsu Chin Dagi Jinso Kibe Sonam Gin Dola Penjire Sangye Dubara Sho Sangye Joda Zoge Chonam Chanjo Bardo Dani Gyalsu Chin Dagi Jinso Kibe Sonam Gin Dola Benjire Sangye Drubara Isho Sangye Chodan Soge Chonam Chanjo Bardo Dani Gyabzu Che Dagi Jinso Kebe Sonam Dola Benjire Sangye Drubara Isho. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I attain the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Desham Tathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramana Yesvaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramana Yesvaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramana Yesvaha. Next, the meaning of the mantra. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. The next page. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such is the nectar-like dharma I have discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I will retire into the woods. Beyond utterance, thought and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceasing, and has the nature of space. Is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times, I will be obeisance. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of all. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, please liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of aeons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of the suchness that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries clone. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Okay, let us turn to the Heart Sutra mantra, which is page 93, 29. Page 29. Okay, we'll recite the mantra. Page 31 mantra. This mantra is very precious, and it can be seen as a very universal mantra. Universal, in a sense that of course we're going to today. The whole class is going to be on the basis of this mantra, and you will see the significance, how this can be seen as very universal. And if you know the meaning, you'll feel the tremendous joy over having met with this mantra, the meaning of which is so profound for yourself, for your family members, for everyone, depending on how how expansively you can think of the others. You'll see that this is incredible, the great mantra, and the benefit. And see that should you come across a situation where you have, say, you go through some illness, mental stress, depression, feeling lonely, feeling lost, and say you hear about your friends who are going through similar tragedies, miseries, problems, pains, loneliness, anxiety, stress, and so forth, you can recite this mantra. And of course, if you know the meaning and recite it, the meaning, the benefit is going to be many more times, much more the more effective, more beneficial, and even otherwise, it will be of incredible great healing for us. So we recite this mantra, and the 7 times. And while you recite this mantra, bring into your visualization your 2 parents and all your family members, and say everyone, say even particularly, say for example, the difficult people, the people you find difficult, who you think that this is something which I cannot really imagine going along with, you just bring them all with you, because the fact that you feel somebody as difficult means that makes you unhappy. That makes you unhappy. Only if you're able to make this person your friend, this unhappiness will disappear and you'll be filled with happiness. So the question is how to make it happen. So first let us do it by bringing them in your visualization, and then later on we're going to learn how to transcend this kind of thinking. This kind of thinking is known as ordinary thinking. With the ordinary thinking, creating a division between you and others, creating a split between you and others, then all these problems arise. The moment this is transcended, divined between self and others, when that is transcended, then you see that you will experience the incredible, bountiful happiness. Okay, this whole purpose. So with that in mind, just deliberately bring everyone in your mind, your parents, and everyone, including different people. Then as you say this mantra, imagine that you are clearing all the mental defilements from these people, and the seed of perfection within each one of us, whether you're Buddhists, whether you're Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Jains, non-believers, it doesn't matter. The Sikhs, it doesn't matter. So everyone has a seed of perfection within you. So this seed of perfection, so that is mixed with the mental defilements. When mixed with the mental defilements, that is not visible. Like the gold, when mixed with the when mixed with the soil in the form of the gold ore, the gold is not visible. Only when you remove the soil one by one, then the gold inside start to glow. So this is how we can expect to make this incredible treasure that exists within each one of us, to make it come out, so that you will experience the bounties of happiness eternally. So with that in mind, imagine that you are leading this, and all sentient beings, everyone is happy to join you, and all the enlightened beings, they're watching us with the incredible great sense of pride, great sense of joy, and great sense of the admiration in what you're doing. So with that in mind, let's recite this 7 times. Deyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhisvaha Om Gati 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 Bodhisvaha Dhyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhisvaha Dhyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhisvaha. Okay, the next page, 8 verses of mind training. Okay, the 8 verses of mind training, the purpose for us, the reflecting on the meanings as stated in these 8 verses, is primarily primarily to subdue the negative forces of mind and to boost our confidence. Within the mind, we see that the one class of thinking, one class of the thought processes are responsible for attracting all the miseries, and another class of thinking, the thought processes, attracts all happiness. And what are those things which attract miseries? So that is rooted to what is known as the self-referential ego, or the self-referential misperception. Self-referential misperception. So this is something the presence which automatically attracts uneasiness in your mind, attracts fear in the mind, and attracts, say, the discomfort and eventually into depression, so forth. So whereas on the other side, self-confidence. With self-confidence, we see that your mind will grow with happiness, you become more calm, then the very confident, and can go along with such an open mind, the tranquility. So these things all happen because of the self-confidence. So the job here for the ordinary people, what happens is that these two things are seen as same. Self-confidence versus the self-referential misperception. So these two are seen as the same. In actuality, the more you see these two as same, the more we suffer. The more we see these two as different and subdue the self-referential ego and boost the self-confidence, you become happier. So to the extent that no matter how the physical hardship that you're going through, still you can maintain peace of mind, and then the more you are able to build that peace of mind, immune system builds up, immune system gets strengthened, and the more the immune system gets strengthened, physically you become healthier. So in fact, many of the illnesses, problems, so forth, the doctors, they can realize that in some cases miraculously they disappear, and even doctors, they don't have answers. So in most cases it's because of they're able to boost the immune system. And how to boost the immune system? And boosting immune system is primarily done because of the happy state of mind, self-confidence, not giving into self-referential misperceptions. Okay, so then the question arises: what is self-referential misperception, and what is self-confidence? Right? So these we have to study, we have to learn here. Whole purpose of this class is to identify these two things so well and see how much to subdue the self-referential misperception and how to boost the self-confidence. That you become happier. Because you are happier, your family becomes happier, and your family members, they will see you as somebody to whom they can rely on when they go through difficulties. So this is something, whole purpose of this class here. So with this mind, as we read this, we see that at times we may see things as very self-denial, self-rejection, and so forth. So he is saying that may offer all the victories to others, may take this suffering may I take the loss, suffering on myself. So these are not self-denial. These are very skillful ways to reject the self-referential misperception, to crush the self-centered mind. The more we crush the self-centered mind, the more ease you feel, the more happy you feel, more confident you feel. This is the skillfulness employed in this practice. Okay, with that in mind, let's recite this. With the determination to achieve the highest aim, for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest among all, and from the very depths of my heart, respect for the whole others as superior. In all my deeds may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character, oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a true treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have held or in whom I have placed great hopes misses me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all these remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. From my true collections, vast space that I have amassed, from working without faith at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom is blinded by ignorance. Okay. So although this is the continuation from the earlier class on Four Noble Truths, given that there are many, I think over very close to 800 people doing this course, the Nalanda Diploma course, and so there are a number of new people joining, and we expect the who joined recently to catch up with the earlier the teachings, the recordings, of which you should have received, and hopefully you have done that. And if not, don't worry. Focus on the current teachings, and of course these teachings not as intense, not as rigorous as the Nalanda Master's course. This is going to be much more, much more easy. But still, I would suggest that if you do get time, I would suggest you to make sure that you at least finish listening to the earlier recordings. They should be about like seven classes, right? 7 classes. It's not many, so you can easily catch up. Listen to those things. Okay. Okay. Now to give a very quick review of what we did last time about the Four Noble Truths, is what we need to have a very clear picture of what we want in our life, right? What we want in our life. Okay, I don't mean to say that, okay, that is amazing. So now that I want some money, and he said that what he mind, right? He may be able to give me money, he may be able to give me some job, he may be able to give me admission in this, where admission in? Students' college? No, this is not the point. The point is just speak your mind as to what you're looking for. What do you want? What do you don't want? We have to make it very clear. So that will help you give you a very clear picture of your life. I want good health, or I want, say, the companions. Whatever you want, right? So some people may say, I want money. Some people say, I want a good job. Some people may say that I want a very peaceful life. or calm life, and so forth. The point is that although the answer may differ from one person to another, if there are 100 people, 100 different answers may come. But if you ask the second question, why do you need money? Why do you need health? Why do you need good position? Why do you need good place, and so forth? Then the answers will all boil down to the same. That is, with money I'll be happy. With position I'll be happy. With good health I'll be happy. With good companions I'll be happy. With a good place I'll be happy. Everybody will then, with the second question, all answers will boil down to the same. That is, for your happiness. And this is the universal fact. This is universal fact. So now see that given that this is the reality of life, what we need to keep in mind is the two agendas of your life. If this is what you want, I want happiness, I don't want suffering, then the two agendas will come on with that basis. And then see if you agree with this or not. It's up to the individual. It's not necessary that you have to okay, now I got the agenda from Tibet House. This is not the point. See whether you agree with. If you don't agree with, right? Okay, the first one is be kind to yourself. Don't forget it. Be kind to yourself. And how many of you agree with me that I should be kind to myself? Raise your hands. Okay, right? The next question is, what do you mean by be kind to yourself? What do you mean by that? Right? Don't take things as easy. Okay, this is so very simple things. No, these are something that we have never thought about. Right? We have never thought about it. Instead, we took for granted that these things are something that I should be knowing, that I know. Right? We never thought about these things. So, what do you mean by kind with yourself? This question. Anyone? Very quick. Anyone? Will I give an answer? Yes. Mark?
In many cases, it's difficult to forgive oneself.
To be kind to yourself means? To forgive yourself.
In many cases, it might be difficult to forgive yourself.
Okay, in many cases, say to be kind to yourself means to forgive yourself. One. Anyone else? What do you mean by kind to yourself? Anyone? Yes?
To have that awareness and understanding that what it's just like to have that understanding and that awareness and what actually makes me like happy.
Okay, good. So why I am, say, deliberately inviting responses from you is that each one of us, we actually think about these things. Okay. So, what can actually give me happiness? Okay, good. Anyone else? Maybe the last person? Yes, here.
In order to punish others, many times we punish ourselves.
Okay.
So because we keep on continuing that thing, the negative thoughts in our mind. So we are kind to ourselves, then we will not continue that type of negative thing.
Okay, to be kind to yourself means not to have negative thoughts with yourself. Very good. Okay, so we see that the same. Can you imagine the best example of to be kind to somebody? Can you imagine? Best example, yourself, somebody else. Can you just imagine one of the best examples of somebody being kind to somebody else? Anyone?
Mother Teresa.
Okay, well, one is Mother Teresa, right? Unfortunately, she's not now, right, with us. Okay, anyone else?
His Holiness the Dalai.
His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Unfortunately, he's protected by so many security guards, right? Okay. Why not we think about ourselves, yourself, when you are age 3, age 4, age 5, right? And in this world, tell me, when you were age 3, 4, 5, in this world, who's the kindest person to you? Huh? Huh? Your parents, right? This is the most living example, right? Okay, Mother Teresa, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, yes, wonderful examples, right? But what you have really experienced when you were age 3, 4, 5 in this world, it is on your parents, particularly when you were day 1 old, 1 year old, 2 years old. Only your parents, if I'm not too presumptuous, are the gods for you. Right? This is a living example. The one who is so kind to you. In fact, what I would say is that at least 80%, 90% of the people have experienced this maximum kindness from the parents at that age. So, particularly for the very educated people, very educated, when you reach age 13, 14, 15, then the communication arises between parents and the children. For the very educated. Less educated, this complication is much less. Because the more educated, you feel more the word self-sufficient, right? And then complications arise. But when you age 1, 2, 3, 4, you are heavily dependent on the parents, and the parents are there to give you the maximum kindness. What do you mean by parents give you the maximum kindness at that point? Anyone? What we learn, we have to know what you're learning, right? So tell me, in what way you received the maximum kindness from your parents when you were age 2, 3, 4? Anyone? Anyone? Yes, 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 you were there.
Care.
By the way, if you can mention your name, everybody will know.
Hi, I'm Manya.
Yes.
The parents give us care, nourishment, they give us food, shelter, and guidance.
Okay, so the parents give you care, food, shelter, guidance, right? Okay. Very good.
Hello everyone, my name is Yash. I think it's about without any expectations, without any conditions, that whatever acceptance that we get from our parents.
Okay, without conditions, expectations, they give
Acceptance to us.
acceptance. Okay, some people may argue against you, but I agree with you, right? Some people may say there's condition there, provided because you are my child, right? This condition. If you are not my child, who cares? Because you are my child, so therefore. So some people may argue like this, don't worry. I agree with you. Okay, so the answer is that you get what you want is, I want care, love, attention, food, nutrition, and acceptance, so forth. All these things my parents have given me, right? So this is the meaning of be kind. So if this is the meaning of kindness, the first agenda is be kind to yourself. Try to give the maximum care, maximum love, attention, food, and shelter, and acceptance to yourself, one, right? And then forgiveness, right? Okay, what is number 2? Number 2 is be wisely kind to yourself. Okay, how many of you agree with this? If I'm to be kind to myself, I should be wisely kind to myself. Raise your hands. Okay, who are these people? People who come to Tibet house or people who don't come to Tibet house? They want to be wise to kind towards themselves? Who are these people? Who should be those people? Who should be wisely kind to themselves? Tell me. Everyone, right? It's not matter whether you're coming from Tibet house, not Tibet house, whether you girl, boy, right? Whether you are 20 plus, 20 below, it doesn't matter. Everybody should be wisely kind to yourself. You agree with me? These two should be our main guidelines of our life, the main agenda of our life. Don't forget it. Okay, if you get this agenda in your life so well, then the point is that one, be kind to yourself means I should give the maximum happiness. What I want is happiness. See how much I can give the maximum happiness to yourself. And what I don't want is I don't want suffering. See how much I can get rid of all the suffering. So this is the meaning of be kind to yourself. Be wisely kind to yourself means do those things which actually give rise to happiness, which not give rise to miseries. right? Do those things which will actually get rid of miseries instead of attracting miseries. So this is the meaning of be wisely kind to yourself. Don't forget it. Okay, with this in mind, we learned the phonable truths, and of course I'm not going to go into detail at this point. To make a very quick overview of what the phonable truths we did is that the phonable truths, the truth of suffering. Okay, by the way, those who attended the early classes, tell me what are the phonable truths? It's long break, right? Truth of suffering.
Truth of cause of suffering.
Truth of cause of suffering.
Truth of the cessation of suffering.
Truth of cessation suffering.
And truth of the path leading
to cessation. Very good, thank you. Okay, these must be on our fingertips. Truth of the suffering, truth of the cause of suffering, truth of the what? Cessation of suffering, then truth of the path leading to cessation. Very good. So these four must be on our fingertips. Okay, with this in mind, say for us, okay, for us, first of all, to know that, to have the maximum happiness, to have no miseries, but first of all, we have to examine whether we are going through miseries, we have miseries, or we don't have miseries. We have to learn this. So for that matter, we have to identify the truth of suffering, the first one. Once you know what the truth of suffering is, to get rid of this truth of suffering, how should you do that? We have to identify the cause of suffering. So this will take us to this second, truth of the cause of suffering. Once you identify what the cause of suffering is, what is your job? Eradicate the cause of suffering, like the poisonous tree growing, and the wind blowing through the poisonous tree and creating skin rashes on the body. So you're very angry towards the poisonous tree, and you chop the top branches. So you'll be relieved for the next maybe like 10 days, 20 days, 1 month, and again the more leaves will grow, right? So what will a wise person do? Huh?
Cut the roots.
Cut the roots. Very good. Cut the. You identify the roots and cut the root. Once you cut the root, then however millions of poisonous leaves they're growing on the top, they'll all dry automatically. You agree with me? So you identify what the cause of suffering is. Once you identify this, you cut this root, cut the cause of suffering, and all the sufferings will automatically come to an end. Okay. Practically speaking, say we have our own problems. We have our own problems. Sickness, aging, tension, stress, conflicts in the family, amongst family members, and conflicts in the workplace, and so forth. These problems are there, and depression and so forth. These problems are there. So this is a very practical thing. It is very important for us to explore what are the causes of this suffering. Very important to explore. And to explore that, right, say without a very systematic study, you may not be able to identify the defined causes of the suffering. You may identify very gross ones, and which may not actually help us to get rid of the fears, because of the suffering of the real life sufferings. So what should we do then? So we have to really study them more systematically and see what are the real problems of life, what are the causes of this life, what are the real causes, right? And the causes, we will see that eventually causes we will realize that, of course, immediate cause of all the sufferings, whatever suffering that we're going through. Say for example, say you sit with a friend and your friend just casually says something and it hurts you. you feel agitated. Even this agitation is also because of there must be cause, right? And then, for example, say okay, say say you go through the tragic incidents. Again, mental agitation, worry, fear, and so forth they arise. Again, there should be a cause. There must be some causes there. So any problem, from the minutest to the most excruciating ones, they are all because of the causes. Right? What are these causes? So generally speaking, all the problems in the form of the results, they arise from the contaminated karmas. These are the causes. And the contaminated karmas, meaning our actions, bodily, verbal, and mental actions. These contaminated karmas. And these contaminated karmas, not necessarily that you have done, that they should be what you have done in this life. We did so many of these contaminated karmas in the past lives. So these contaminated karmas, they arise from where? They come from where? These arise from afflictions. Affliction meaning that they say the untamed mental the thought processes, untamed mental thought processes, also referred to as the afflictions. Untamed, indisciplined, thought processes known as the afflictions, such as attachment, anger, jealousy, competitiveness, spite, and belligerence, and so forth. All these negative thoughts. Negative thoughts, they drive you to engage in the contaminated karmas. So two causes. And these negative thoughts, they arise from where? Where do they arise from? These negative thoughts, for example, anger, rage, they arise from where? They arise from the misperception, ignorance. They arise from the misperception, ignorance. Okay. Ignorance came from where? Again, this next question. This ignorance came from where? So ignorance came from this ignorance today. Ignorance that I have today came from last year. Ignorance that I had last year came from 2 years ago. Ignorance that I have in this life came from the past life. So this is how it can be tracked back in time, and it go ad infinitum, the beginningless. Okay, so this says we see that immediate cause of all the miseries is the contaminated karmas. Contaminated karmas, they arise from afflictions. Afflictions arise from ignorance. Okay, so finally we see what is the root of all the miseries. Ignorance. You're getting it? Okay. Now this is one thing, and just for your information. Okay, this is just for your information, and the more detailed explanation of this we'll get maybe towards the end of the diploma course or towards the starting of the next batch, none of the master's course, right? Okay, just for information, just for you to know that I see this is very interesting. Okay, how many of you have dreamt of having getting cakes? How many of you ever dreamt of receiving gifts? No? 1, 2. Okay, how many of you have dreamt receiving gifts? Okay, most of us, we dreamt, right? Okay, let's say, and if you're somebody who is not so interested in flowers, by the way, how many of you are not so interested in flowers? Raise your hands. Okay, right? Okay, let's say that we are all somebody who who are not really interested in flowers. And then somebody, in your dream, right? Somebody came with to greet you on your birthday. and you're so happy. And the gift the person brought is, say, 30,000 rupees worth flowers, right? 30,000 rupees. And some of you may wish that instead of that, I wish he or she brought up the iPad. Right? 30,000. If you add another 10,000, you can get iPad or a mobile, good mobile. Why this flower will go away in two days? What a waste of money, right? You may think like this. Okay, tell me. So imagine that you dream of this. You dream of this, and then you say, oh, congratulations, huge, big flower, bouquet of flower to you. Okay, are you happy, not happy? You're not happy. You're not happy, right? Okay, let's say, and then how many of you are so fond of flowers? Raise your hands. Okay, it's this. Now, there's sitting next to you is somebody who's so fond of flowers, right? And then this flower came, and then you don't show a good face. And the person who is so fond of flowers, what are you doing? It's so beautiful flowers, right? Okay, now tell me. Okay, who decided this dream? Did you plan to have this dream last night? Huh? Say you had this dream last night, and did you say 2 days ago, okay, 2 days later I will have a dream of this, somebody giving me a flower. How many of you decided this dream? No one? You did not decide the dream? Okay, how many of you like to have a dream to have an audience with His Holiness the Dalai Lama? Raise hands. Huh? Okay, how many of you, okay, good, many of you, right? How many of you will have the dream of His Holiness the Dalai Lama tonight? Raise hands. How many of you will have the? Not how many of you like to have. These two are two different things, right? How many of you like to have? Everybody will raise your hands. Right? My question to you is, how many of you will have the dream of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, having audience with His Holiness and having tea with His Holiness? How many of you will have the dream? Huh? Okay, why not? It's a very pleasant dream. Why you are not going to have this dream? Why not? Hey, give me an answer.
We cannot control the dream.
We cannot control the dream. Good. We cannot. We have no choice. We have no choice. You're getting it? Then who decides the dream?
Subconscious mind.
Okay, subconscious mind, imprints, whatever you may call it, right? Somebody else is creating the dream. You're getting it? Somebody else is creating. You don't have the choice to pick up which dream I like to have. You don't have the choice. So while you don't have the choice, the dreams occur. Right? The dreams occur. Once the dream occurs, you are affected or you are not affected in the dream. Huh? You are not affected. You are affected, right? You are badly affected. You are badly affected in the dream. In the dream, if the ghost comes, what do? You will run away, or you will say you are just a dream. You will say you're just a dream, or you will run away. 100% you will run away, which means that you are affected by the dream. The one, you don't have the choice to create the dream. Number two, in the dream, you are affected by the dream. You're getting it? You are affected means you don't have the choice. The dream decides whether you should be happy, unhappy in the dream. You agree with me? If you don't have the choice, you have lost your freedom. You're getting it? Loss of freedom is misery. Right? Loss of freedom is the greatest misery. Okay, so now what we are seeing is that, say, the dream. You see the dream as real. When are you affected by the dream? Seeing the dream ghost as real, or seeing the dream ghost is coming from your mind, then you are affected? Tell me. Seeing the dream as real, then you are affected, right? Okay. Seeing the dream as real, is that ignorance or this is wisdom?
Ignorance.
Ignorance. You're getting it? So this is how the ignorance creates all the fear in your life. Just as in the dream, you are affected by the dream because of the ignorance. Seeing the dream is real, you are affected. Likewise, what we are seeing now, what we are seeing now when we are out of the dream, When we come out of the dream, you're affected. Right? Who's creating all these things? We'll come to realize that they are all, just as the dream is created by your imprints, even all what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing, all these are what my own mind is creating, right? And at this moment, I don't expect each one of us to say, yes, you are right. But is it true? In the dream, if I tell you that this is dream, will you agree with me? In the dream. In your dream, if I tell you that, hey, you're dreaming, this is dream, will you agree with me or not? You will not agree with me, because you so strongly believe in the perception that this is so real. When will you agree with me?
After waking up.
After waking up. Only when you wake up, you'll agree with me, right? Likewise, at the moment, you will not agree with me. When I say that everything is like a dream, everything comes from your mind, you will not agree with me. Only when you do the master's course, after the course, then you get some clue of how everything is like a dream coming from your mind. Only then you can agree with me. You will agree with me. You're getting it? In reality, is that everything is like a dream, right? The incredible fear that you're going through in your dream, the moment you wake up, the fear stops. This is the secret of the ultimate happiness. Wake up from the sleep of ignorance, right? Okay, this is so important. This is important. Now, waking up, dream there too. For the time being, don't ask me to distinguish between these two dreams, right? Because for this we have to study more of what emptiness is, what ultimate reality is. For time being, just for information. Say, one, in the dream, who created the dream? Imprints, right? Somebody else is creating this dream. In other words, to be very direct, is the ignorance which creates the dream. Ignorance which creates the dream. Now, after the ignorance creating the dream, then those who are very fond of flowers will say that, oh, it's a very beautiful flower. Those who are not fond of the flower, okay. Who can have the dream of the flower? Those who are fond of flowers or those who are not fond of flowers? Both, right? Okay, how many of you see the flower? Those who like the flower or those who don't like the flower? Look at this object. Raise your hands, those who are not so keen on flower. Raise your hands. Are you seeing this as flower? Yes. Raise your hands, those who are very fond of flowers. Are you seeing this as a flower? Yes. Some people, they raise their hands in both cases. I don't know what they are. Alright. Okay. So, both of you see this as a flower. What's the difference? Affinity is different. I like this. Some say, who cares? Some say, I like it. It's so beautiful. Okay. So the affinity. What makes the affinity? Who likes it? Hey, when you say I like it, who likes it? Who likes it? I like it. You're getting it? Okay. So first, the dream is created. Then, in the dream, the flower is created. Who created this dream? Ignorance. Your ignorance within the mind, misperception, that creates this dream, right? And then this shopping mall is already created. Once shopping mall is created, then who goes there? Then I go there. Oh, I want this. I don't want this. I want this. I don't want this. Then I will start to play, right? So the dream is created, like the shopping mall created. By the way, what is the big shopping mall in Delhi? Saket? City Walk. Okay, City Walk is created. I think it was, how long? How old is this? Huh? Any idea? No idea.
About 10 years.
About 10 years. Okay, let's say 10 years ago, 15 years ago, this shopping mall was missing, was not there, absent. And then 10 years ago, it was newly created, right? Newly created. Then who goes there? Who goes there? I go there, right? I go there. Then you say, I want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, right? What is interesting? I want this. What is not interesting? I don't want this. Interesting, not interesting, all created by the shopping mall person, yes? Shopping mall owner. He created this. You're getting it? And then you go there, right? So ignorance creates this shopping mall like dream. Then this self-centered attitude, I go there, oh, I like this is very beautiful, I don't like this goes, I have to run away. All this pull and push happens. Pull and push happens. This pull and push happens, that is dictated by what? By the dream, not by you. This pull and push. Because this pull and push is not in your hand, it's dictated by something else. You don't have the freedom. So this becomes involuntary pull and push. Involuntary pull and push is loss of freedom. Loss of freedom is misery. Misery is samsara. You're getting it? Okay, if you understand like this, then we see that this is nothing really to do with religion. This is reality. You're getting it? This is nothing to do with religion. This is a reality. This is a fact. Okay, if you know the reality to this level of the subtlety, then you will know how to wake up. If you don't want to be affected by the dream, what should you do? Wake up, right? You're getting it. You have to wake up. Okay, so waking up, enlightened beings such as Buddha Shakyamuni, they are referred to as the fully awakened one. You getting it? Fully awakened one. So the Buddha Shakyamuni is like an example for us. It's not that he is the only Buddha. Each one of us, we can also awaken. We can also awaken. So for the awakening from the deep sleep to the fully awakened state, there are 5 steps. There are 5 steps known as Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhiswara. 5 steps there. For the awakening, there are 5 steps. So these 5, they are known as the 5 paths. 5 paths. P-A-T-H-S. 5 paths. Okay, what are the 5 paths? This we have to learn today. What are the 5 paths? First one is path of accumulation. The first one is path of accumulation. We need to know the technicalities, and we need to also know why, the correlation, significance, the purpose. We have to learn all these things. First one is path of accumulation. Number 2 is path of preparation. Path of accumulation, path of preparation. Number 3 is path of seeing, path of seeing, path of seeing. See with your eyes, path of seeing. Number 4 is path of meditation, path of meditation. Number 5 is path of no more learning, no more learning, path of no more learning. Path of accumulation, preparation, seeing, meditation, no more learning. The 5 paths. Okay, path of accumulation, path of preparation, path of seeing, path of meditation, path of no more learning. 5 paths. Okay. Do you agree with me or not? So whenever I say something, don't take for granted, okay, what I said. Just see if you agree with me or not. Right? At times, if you don't agree, you can be a little patient to listen to the later explanations, and then you may come to agree. If you still don't agree, the point is that you have to ask. This is very important, right? Okay, the purpose is not for the sake of the class, it's for the sake of us learning something. Path, when you speak of the path, there should be 2 things. Where you're going, the destination, and where you are now. Where you're now, and then the place where you want to go. Only then the path makes sense. You agree with me? Right? Path means that I'm at the moment in Tibet House and I want to go to, say, the National Museum. So Tibet House is not a National Museum. So National Museum becomes my destination, and Tibet House where I'm now, I want to go there. So the places which take me closer towards where I want to go is known as the path. You getting it? Okay. So what is your destination? And where are you now? Okay, tell me, anyone. from what we have learned thus far, tell me what is the destination? What is your destination? And from what we learned, right? What's your destination? And where are we now? Anyone?
Destination is to have maximum happiness.
Okay, destination to have maximum happiness. Yes, very good. Anyone else?
From ignorance to waking up.
Okay, destination. Ignorance is not destination, right?
Destination is to wake up.
Destination is waking, fully waking up,
Yes.
right? Partially waking up, fully waking up.
Fully waking up.
Fully waking up. Okay, fully waking up is the destination. Very good. Same. Awakened mind. Awakened mind. To be awakened fully, right? A mind which is fully awakened. A mind which is fully awakened. This is the destination. Very good. Okay. If that's the destination, and then say the maximum happiness, right? And the least miseries. Okay. Where are we now? So we have to, to say the path, to speak about the path, we should know where we are now, and then we have to know the destination, where we are now. Where are we now? Huh? Oh yes, dreaming ignorance. Yes, that's true. Okay, we're in the dream of the ignorance. You're getting it? We're in the dream of the dream of the ignorance. Okay. So from this, we have to keep awakening. Keep awakening. And awakening happens in 5 different steps. 5 different steps. And, okay. Okay, say that awakening. Some people, they don't want to awaken, right? Yes, no? When you have a very pleasant dream, right, you wish that nobody wakes me up. Right? Okay, so to be awakened in this sense, what do we need? Okay, let's say that there are two children, one who is so bright and one who is not really bright, and the third is the first one is very bright, number 2 is not bright. The first one, all these 3 children, they're growing, and then slowly they reach class 9, 10, 11, 12, almost finishing high school, right? And then the school principal asks, what is your aim of your life? And all 3 says that we all want to become physics professors. Maybe there are young ones who like to become physics professors. No one. Okay, let's say we all want to become the physics professors. Okay. Child A, child B, child C. Child A, he's so bright. Child B, he's not bright. Child A is so bright, extremely bright. The moment he goes into college, he always ends up in pubs. He always ends up in pubs. What is pubs? What is pub? It's not a good place, right? Where people spend time in drinking. That always end up in pubs and never in the laboratory. Do you think that this child is going to become a big professor in physics? Most likelihood not. Okay. And second child is never in the pubs, always with the books, in the first year BSc Physics honors, and whose mathematics skill is 2 plus 10 equals 22. 2 plus 10 is 12 or 22. And he says 22. Do you think that he can become a big professor in physics? No, not. Right? Very enthusiastic, always with the books. And the third child, very smart and always with books, extremely bright and always with books, laboratory, teaching, discussing. Can the third child become a big professor in physics? Yes. Okay, tell me what's wrong with the first one? Why not the first one? Hey, why not the first one?
Lack of focus.
Because the first one lacks effort, right? First one does not have the enthusiasm, lacks the effort. Intelligence is there, enthusiasm missing. What is the problem with the second one? Intelligence is missing. You're getting it? Why the third one? Because he has both. You're getting it? So in order to follow this path, gati, gati, paragati, parasamgati, buddhist, soham, right? So you want to finish your high school, then college, then university, then doc, then PhD, then postdoc, right? So in order to finish all these things, you need both the things. What are they? Intelligence and effort, enthusiasm, both are required. You getting it? Both are required. Now, say, what intelligence, in what way it contributes to you accomplishing your goal? In what way intelligence contributes to you accomplish the goal, and in what way enthusiasm will help you to accomplish your goal? These two things contribute in different ways. Tell me. Anyone?
Intelligence, to have that rational way to understand your subject, so you need your rationality to work. So that is how intelligence is going to help you in your subject.
What about the other side?
It's about focus, because having intelligence is not enough. You should have that consistency, and that stability should be there.
A stability of the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does the enthusiasm help you? Tell me. Anyone?
It's like the fuel to your car.
It's like the fuel, energy.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. So this intelligence is the one which will actually give you the knowledge. To become a professor in physics, to become a professor in the discipline, you should have the knowledge. So that knowledge will be given to you by the intelligence. But this intelligence alone will not guarantee that you will get the knowledge. That intelligence must be pushed. Somebody should push this intelligence to acquire this knowledge. Intelligence is just the instrument to acquire the knowledge. So in order for it to keep working to acquire the knowledge, there must be the push. What pushes the intelligence? Enthusiasm. You're getting it? So these two things are required. Now, when you speak about the path, there should be the intelligence to take you up there, and there must be the drive to make this intelligence work. Getting it? So the intelligence, what is this intelligence? What intelligence is required? Anyone? What intelligence is required? Okay, so tell me, this awakening, how many of you are awakened? No? How many of you are awakened from this ignorance? Huh? Okay, most likelihood, if you awaken, you will not come to this class. Right? Maybe rare cases, some may come to check how I am teaching. Otherwise, you will not come, right? Okay, so which means that we all are still in this dream. We are not yet awakened. You getting it? We are not yet awakened. So, yes. But what we have learned right from the beginning with the class, what we learned is that we all have this seed of perfection. We learned this, right? We all have this seed of perfection. We all have this seed of perfection. This is the confidence that we all must have. We all have this seed of the seed of the treasure of happiness. Ultimate treasure of happiness is within each one of us. Whether you're boy, girl, young, old, which religion, that religion, from this background, that, it doesn't matter. Everybody has this seed of perfection within yourself. So this seed of perfection, if it is there, seed of perfection, seed of ultimate happiness, if it is there, why is it not visible? Okay, gold, when mixed with soil, do you think that gold is visible? Do you think that it's glowing? It will not glow when mixed with the soil. So oftentimes the gold, when you extract from the gold mine, what you get is just the gold ore. What is this gold ore? Gold mixed with the soil. In the eyes of ordinary people, we see this as just a soil. We may dump this, but by the experts will not dump this. For experts, this is very precious. What will they say? That there's gold there. And how will they prove that there's gold there? Hey, by removing the soil. One by one they remove the soil. As the soil is removed, as the soil is separated from the gold more and more, then what happens inside? The gold will start to glow. You're getting it? It's not that the gold was missing when it was with the soil. It was there. But because the soil overrides. The soil overrides the presence of the gold there. The gold is there, but the soil overrides and the glow was not happening. When the soil is removed, the obstacles, when they are removed, then the gold inside will start to glow. The true nature of the gold will come to become manifest, evident. Likewise, each one of us, whether you're rich, poor, educated, uneducated, boy, girl, it doesn't matter. What religion that you follow, it doesn't matter. We all have this seed of perfection, like the gold inside. So now, if this gold is there, what is this? What are the metal defilements which obscure this gold? What are the metal defilements which obscure the perfect seed of the perfection? What is that? Obstacles. So these obstacles, what is the opposite of wisdom? Ignorance. What's the opposite of this enthusiasm? Say the enthusiasm. Say, let's say, technically speaking, let's say that who's going to be more enthusiastic? Say the two mothers, both of them in a place where the place which was hit by drought, no food available, and one mother with one child, the other mother with 5 children. Which of the two mothers will be more enthusiastic to look for food? One with 5 children or one with 1 child? Huh? Who will be more enthusiastic? One with the 5 children, because she has more responsibility, right? She has more responsibility because she loves, the love that she has is towards the 5 children, right? So the more you love others, the more the other cherishing you become. So the drive, the greatest of the drive, eventually they're going to learn, not necessarily now, the greatest of the drive to push is the feeling of love and unconditional love that you feel towards all sentient beings. Unconditional love towards all sentient beings. This is the greatest of the enthusiasm to make you work. Okay, with this in mind, how many of you have this unconditional love towards all other beings? Not just you, including myself. How many of us have this mind? I'm not too sure, right? Okay, so let's say we don't have this yet. We may have love and affection towards your mother, towards your father, towards your children, towards your brothers, sisters, so forth, but not necessarily towards all sentient beings, right? Okay, so this is what we're going to learn later on. Now the point is that if we don't have this yet, what stops us from this? What stops us? What stops us from having this? What's the opposite of other cherished mind? Self-cherishing. What's the opposite of wisdom? Ignorance. So these two are inside us. Ignorance and the self-cherishing mind. These two are inside us. These two are the things that obstruct this beautiful seed of perfection that you have. Right? That obstruct that. So if you remove these two slowly, if you remove these two things, how to remove the ignorance? By introducing wisdom. How to remove the self-cherishing mind? By removing by introducing the unconditional love for others. With these two things, as the two mental dirts are removed slowly, then the Buddha nature inside, seed of perfection within. Buddha nature, Buddha does not necessarily mean Buddha Shakyamuni. It means awakened, purity. What purity? Don't just have a blind faith. Don't just have faith in this. Faith meaning without questioning, without irrational faith, right? Irrational faith. Instead, we must gain conviction. Yes, the seed of perfection is within me. Seed of perfection within each one of the sentient beings. This confidence we must get through more studies, right? Okay, so as these two mental dirts are being removed, one by one removed in different phases, 5 different phases, then the Buddha nature inside us, the seed of perfection within us, will start to glow. You become more compassionate, you become more intelligent, you become more considerate, you become very calm, peaceful, not affected by external factors, right? So that happens. Okay. Now, so this cleansing of the mental dirts, of the ignorance and the self-centered attitude, cleansing of these mental dirts, that is our journey. So we at the moment, the path, when you speak of the path, there are two things to keep in mind. What are they? The destination where we are going and where we are now. You're getting it? So what is the journey? The path means it's a journey. What is journey? Journey of cleansing the mind so that full awakening can happen. Full awakening can happen. You're getting it? Okay. So the full awakening means the mental dirts are removed completely. When the mental dirts are removed completely, you're full awakened. Awakened is the wisdom. Right? Wisdom. So the mental dirts should be removed. So the process of removing the mental dirts, this is the journey. This is journey, and for that journey, we need a path, right? So where we are now is where we have full of the mental stains, full of the mental defilements. This is where we are, ignorance and self-centered attitude. Now where we are, what is the destination? The destination of the full awakening, where ignorance is replaced by full wisdom and self-centered attitude is replaced by the cherished mind. When that happens, then your Buddha nature, the seed of perfection within us, within you, will become manifest fully. You're getting it? Okay. So this cleansing of the mind, this journey path, when I speak about the path, is the path of what? Path of following the internal journey. Internal journey of what? Journey of cleansing the mental defilements. You're getting it? Cleansing the mental defilements. Seed of perfection within you. You already have this seed of the maximum happiness, the maximum fearlessness. It's already within you. Why we have so much of fear? When something happens, so much of fear happens. Why? If I have the seed of fearlessness, why am I having the fear? It's because that this seed of fearlessness is hidden by the mental defilements. What are mental defilements? What are mental defilements? Self-cherishing mind and self-grasping ignorance, right? These two things. And then if you want to go into more detail, what we learned is ignorance and self-centered attitude, these will work hand in hand, giving rise to the afflictions, and afflictions giving rise to the contaminant karmas, and the contaminant karmas giving rise to miseries. You getting it? Okay, this is how we have to. Okay, so the process of cleansing is to cleanse the self-grasping ignorance and a self-centered attitude. So this cleansing, the process of cleansing is the journey, mental journey of cleansing the mental defilements. And this journey of cleansing the mental defilements is known as the following the path. To follow the path, we need to have the goal. What is the goal? Goal is to have the full awakening, where the mind is totally freed of all the mental defilements. Where we are now, at the moment, we are with the self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. You're getting it? Okay. But the reality, the good news is that although we have these mental defilements, but the true nature of mind is never defiled. The true nature of mind is so pure, is forever pure. Tell me which of the two diamonds, inside of the two diamonds, is cleaner? The diamond which is in the showroom, and the diamond which is in the garbage, right? Each one of them is like 1 kg weight, right? Which of the two diamonds, deep inside, which is cleaner? The one in the showroom or one in the garbage? Same. Inside is same. Outside there's difference. One is very clean, one is, smeared with the defilements. But inside there's no difference. Likewise, the true nature of your mind and the true nature of the enlightened being's minds, there's no difference. The true nature of mind is so pure, fearless, infinite happiness and fearlessness, total fearlessness. This is your true nature of the mind. This must be awakened. It must come out. Okay. Now the point is, why the true nature of mind, which is the fearless, total fearlessness and the infinite happiness, why these two are not manifest as yet? Why? Why not? Why not? If you have the true nature of mind, which is the seat of perfection, which is equipped or which is characterized by the fearlessness and the infinite happiness, why they are not manifest as yet? Why they are not manifest at the moment? Why not? Because they are hidden by the mental defilements. Like the gold, although gold is present there, when mixed with the soil, the gold is not visible. Likewise, although the fearlessness and the infinite happiness is within us, but it is not visible because this is obscured by the mental defilements. Okay, if you want to have these characteristics of your true nature of the mind, the fearlessness and the infinite happiness to come out, what should we do? Remove the mental stains, mental defilements. You getting it? Okay. So this mental defilement to be removed, it is of this mental defilement which obscure your beautiful seat of perfection within you. These mental defilements which obscure that is this mental defilements of two kinds: the gross and the subtle. Right? Okay. Let's say somebody smashed garlic in my glass. Somebody smashed garlic in my glass, and say that I don't take garlic, and then who smashed garlic in my glass? And you apologize. Oh, I did it. I'm very sorry. I'll clean this up. So what do? You remove the garlic. You wash it very clean. You wash it so clean. Okay, is there any garlic now? No. Now you just touch it to see if there is any trace of garlic. There's no trace of garlic. Solid garlic is gone. You smell it? It still smells garlic. You're getting it? Likewise, the metal stain, which obscure this Buddha nature within us, which obscure this seed of perfection within you. That metal stain is of two kinds: the gross and the subtle. The gross one, which is like solid garlic, is known as afflictive obscurations. The gross one is known as afflictive obscurations. Okay, let's finish this. The subtle one, the smell like garlic, the garlic smell like metal stain, is known as cognitive obscurations. Cognitive obscurations. The gross one is known as afflictive obscurations, and this subtle one is known as cognitive obscurations. Very good. Okay, the gross one. What is this gross one constituted of? Gross one. Okay, how many of us we have the aggressive physical verbal expressions, or aggressive the physical actions, or aggressive thought processes? Right, we all have these aggressive physical, verbal and mental expressions. These are known as contaminated karmas. Right? Expressions, physical, verbal, mental expression of this very gross expressions of the expressions, actions, physical, verbal, mental. These are known as the contaminated karmas, contaminated actions. Okay, so what drives us to behave like this? For example, same. Okay, so what's the difference? Say this glass, right? Okay, what's the reaction of the other person? If you have some kind of, say, a mild, not really conflict, like say disagreement, and the person says that no, you're the loser. What's your response? And you tell the other person that you're the loser. What do you expect the response from the other side? Huh? Other person will agree. Okay, yes, I'm the loser. Or other person will say no, you're the loser. What do you expect? Huh? Disagree. Okay. In fact, I was brought up in a boarding school, right? And I was expecting the same thing. When any conflict is happening, between me and others, of course I will say that you're the loser. And then I will never expect the other person to say, yes, I'm the loser. This is what I never expected. Because in the school, throughout, like, say 6, 7, 8 years, whole year in the school, the others will also say, you are the loser. I'm the victor. Right? This is the reaction. What happened? Once when I was with my father, I must be age, I think, 8 to 9. And then I was having a little bit of, say, the father was he must be joking, right? He must be kidding. But I was taking it very seriously. I said that you're the loser. And then, to my surprise, what he said is that, yes, I'm the loser and you are the victor. I could not believe my eyes. That's today, after all these many years, I'm hearing somebody acknowledging that he or she is the loser and that I'm, Dorji, is the victor. For the first time, I couldn't believe that, right? Okay, so the point is that, we expect the same thing. You said that you're the loser. And some people, most will say that, yes, most people say that, no, you're the loser, I'm the victor, right? You are the bad guy and I'm the good one. Only few people will say that, yes, you are the victor and I'm the loser. Tell me, who are those people who will say that you are the victor and I'm the loser? Huh? No idea. Your parent, somebody who really cares about you, you're getting it? Somebody who really cares about you. And in rare cases, somebody who may not be caring, who may not be affectionate towards you, but somebody who really stands on principle. That is, again, very precious. Somebody who really stands on principle, right? Okay, I'm the loser, yes. Although I don't really, have anything to do with this person, but he's the winner. I should be very honest, right? Yes, you're the winner. I'm the loser. Okay, it's very rare though. Okay, now the point that I'm saying is that physical, verbal, mental expressions that we have, generally speaking, is not as nice, right? When the situation arises, it is bound to burst into aggression. Physical, verbal, mental. These are known as the contaminated karmas, right? We are talking about what? Gross mental defilements, known as the afflictive obscurations. This afflictive obscurations is of 3 kinds. Don't forget it. This afflictive obscurations is of 3 kinds. One is contaminated karmas. Number 2 is afflictions. And number 3 is active imprints, active seeds of the contaminated karmas and the afflictions. 3 kinds. And in a loose sense, you can say just 2, contaminated karmas and afflictions. In a loose sense, you can say 2, but if you want to be very precise, you can say 3. Contaminated karmas, afflictions and active seeds of the contaminated karmas and the afflictions. You're getting it? Okay. Now all these three boil down to, all these three are driven by self-grasping ignorance. All these three are driven by self-grasping. Don't count the self-grasping ignorance as separate. Self-grasping ignorance is part of the affliction. Right? Of the three, self-grasping ignorance is a part of the affliction. So, we speak about contaminated karmas, they arise from afflictions. Afflictions arise from ignorance, this self-grasping ignorance. This is what we said. But the self-grasping ignorance is the chief of the afflictions. Yes?
Is there any other form of ignorance when you're specifying ignorance as self-grasping ignorance?
Very good.
Is there any other form of ignorance?
Many levels of ignorance, many kinds of ignorance, right? Okay, so we speak about seeing impermanent things as permanent, seeing the dream as real. Yeah, seeing the dream as real. This is also ignorance. This is very gross. Even the ordinary people can understand this. So there are many kinds of ignorance, and the worst of which is the self-grasping ignorance. What is self-grasping ignorance? This is what we have to study. This is the if you unfold this, if you know this, then this is the dawn. If you know this, what the self-grasping ignorance is, if you're able to identify what the self-grasping ignorance is so well, then that is the dawn of the fearlessness in your mind. There's a dawn. The moment you realize what self-grasping ignorance is, you will see the emptiness. You will see the wisdom of emptiness. Once you see the wisdom of emptiness, this is the starting point or the dawn of the state of fearlessness. So precious. Okay, so we see that we have these three things. Contaminated karmas. What are the three kinds of the afflictive obscurations? Contaminated karmas, afflictions, and the active seeds of the earlier two, right? The first two. These three are the afflictive obscurations. And the cognitive obscurations. Cognitive obscurations is like the smell of the garlic. Solid garlic is already gone. These three are like this, the metaphor for these three are these solid garlic. Now, even if you remove all these three, still the smell like metal stain will be left. That smell like metal stain known as cognitive obscurations. Cognitive obscurations. You getting it? Okay. The first one, the gross one, in what way it harms us? The second one, in what way it harms us? What is the first one? What's the first one? Afflictive obscurations. What is the second one? Cognitive obscurations. In what way the first one harms us? In what way the second one harms us? This is what we have to learn. The first one, it harms us, it stops us from achieving freedom from suffering. It stops us from achieving freedom from suffering, all suffering, right? In other words, we constantly have the suffering because of the afflictive obscurations. We have the constant suffering, endless suffering because of the afflictive obscurations. And the subtle one, what is the subtle one known as? Cognitive obscurations. The subtle one, cognitive obscurations, the presence of this stops us from attaining full awakening, right? Attaining full awakening. It stops us from becoming full awakened. In other words, becoming omniscient. It stops us from becoming omniscient, becoming a Buddha. Okay. Buddha means full awakened one, right? Okay. Okay, how many want to get rid of the first the first kind of mental obscuration? And how many want to get rid of the second mental obscuration? And how many want to get rid of both? Okay, wonderful, is amazing. Okay, so the point is that there are some people, okay, let's say, there are some people who seek to remove only the first one. Only remove the first one. Second one is, oh, it will take a very long time. It is it's very difficult for me. Just to get it to the first problem is good enough. Okay, for me, just to finish in the BA is good enough. I don't really need PhD. Otherwise, again, another 6-7 years. How many years after BA?
2 years masters and 5 years PhD.
Okay, then MPhil, right, in between.
Yeah, it's optional.
Okay, let's say 7 years. Another 7 years. Particularly when you are in BA and BSc, even 1 year is too long, right? Even 1 year they cannot, it's too long. So 70 years is too long. No way. No way. So for me, just finish BA is good enough. Some say, no, I'll finish at least MA, right? And I'll finish MA and then finish. Okay. Some say, no, I must finish PhD. Okay. So tell me, likewise, this is what is in our life. We can see different people with different temperaments. Likewise, in the pursuit of undertaking this journey of cleansing the mind, there are two categories of people who say that, oh, the second one, to remove the second one, which is the cognitive obscuration, how long does it take? It takes so long, right? Oh no, I'm not really for that. I want just get into the first one, and I'm free from suffering. That's it. I just want it. Okay. So these people are known as the people who seek personal nirvana, seeking personal nirvana, and seeking personal nirvana is of two kinds: Shravakas and Pradika Buddhas. Shravaka, S-H-R-A-V-A-K-A, Shravaka. Shravaka, who seek personal liberation, there are two kinds: Shravaka and Pradika Buddha. Shravaka, S-H-R-A-V-A-K-A, Shravaka. Number two is Pratyeka Buddha, P-R-A-T-I-Y-A-K-A-B-U-D-D-H-A, Pratyeka Buddha. Shravaka, Pratyeka Buddha. So these two seek personal liberation. These two seek personal liberation. And whereas there is another category of the beings who say that to seek personal liberation is very selfish. It's so selfish. I must seek liberation for everyone, not just for me personally, for everyone. So these beings are known as bodhisattvas. These beings are known as bodhisattvas. Okay, we have two categories. One, Shravaka Pradika Buddha seeking personal liberation, and the other, bodhisattva seeking liberation for everyone. Okay. Now tell me, say if somebody is a Shravaka or Pradika Buddha, what is his or her goal? Any idea? If somebody is Shravaka or Pradika Buddha, what is his or her goal? Personal liberation. What do you mean by personal liberation? Where? Which of the two obstacles? Which of the obstructions should be gotten rid of? Afflictive obscurations. Afflictive obscuration has to be gotten rid of. And who are those people who seek liberation for all? Who seek enlightenment for all? Bodhisattvas. What is the goal? To achieve full awakening. Full awakening, right? So first one is partial awakening. First one is partial awakening because they are only awakened from the afflictive obscurations. They are not awakened from the cognitive obscurations. Whereas the second one is awakened from both. So this is a full awakening. First one is partial awakening, and the second one is full awakening. You're getting it? Okay. Now we see that those who seek personal liberation, how many kinds are there? two. What are they? Shravaka. Shravaka in Tibetan is nyentu. In Tibetan it is nyentu. Nyentu. Nyana nyentan tu satu. And then the Pratik Buddha is Rangil. Rangil. Nyentu Rangil. Okay. So these two, each one of them, in order to achieve the goal, they have the 5 steps to go. They have 5 steps to go. Shravakas have 5 steps known as the 5 paths, and 5 steps for the Pratik Buddha known as the 5 paths for Pratik Buddha. 5 plus 5. And for Bodhisattvas, they also have the 5 steps. 5. So 5 into 3 is 15. This is known as the 15 paths. 15 paths meaning 5 for Shravakas, 5 for Pratik Buddhas, and 5 for the Bodhisattvas. These form the 15 paths. You're getting it? Okay. Now tell me, can anyone guess? For the Shravakas, let us give the example of Shravaka. For the Shravaka, when do you think, by the way, what are the 5 paths? The 5 into 3 is 15. What are the 5 paths? Huh? Path of accumulation, path of preparation, path of CA, path of meditation, path of no more learning. Very good. So these 5 paths are common to all the 3 aspirants. Shravakas 5, Pratik Buddha 5, Bodhisattva or the minor practitioners 5. Total 15. Okay. Now tell me, say for the Shravakas, when do you think a person who is seeking personal liberation, Shravaka path, so when do you think that this person is entitled to have taken the first step, the first gati? First gati means the path of accumulation. When do you think that they get this first path? Any idea? Can you guess? Can you guess?
When it thinks for liberation.
Huh?
When it thinks for liberation.
Exactly. So when this person, the path means the moment you think, I should become a Buddha, I should attain my personal liberation. I should be free from suffering. I should be free from suffering for myself. The moment this thought comes, very genuine, very spontaneous, not just with effort, very spontaneously this thought arises, I should achieve my personal liberation, my personal freedom from suffering. The moment this thought arises, this was known as renunciation. The thought to be freed from suffering. When that becomes spontaneous, that is known as renunciation. For the Shravakas and for the Pratik Buddhas, 2 of them, the moment they have the renunciation, they have already got into the first part of accumulation. You're getting it? Okay, now for the Bodhisattvas, or somebody who is the same admirer of the minor path, say, when do you think that person would? Okay, how many of you want to follow the minor path? Raise your hands. How many want to follow the Mahayana path? Path for all sentient beings. Raise your hands. Very good. Okay. If given that you are somebody who admires the minor path, you want to follow the minor path. So if you want to follow the minor path, when are you entitled to have gone into the first path? When are you entitled to have been in the first path of accumulation? Any idea? Any idea? Okay, when you give self-cherishing, yes. Anyone else?
Again, when you start thinking about others' liberation.
When you think about others' liberation, very good. Anyone else?
Maybe when you have unconditional love for everyone.
Unconditional love for others cherishing, very good. Anyone else? Path, it means there should be a goal, right? Don't forget it. There should be a goal. What's the goal? Buddhahood, total awakening. I must become I must achieve total awakening. for the benefit of all beings. You getting it? The moment this aspiration becomes very spontaneous within you, I must achieve total awakening. I must achieve total awakening for the benefit of all beings. When that aspiration becomes very spontaneous, at that point you have entered the first part of the bodhisattvas, part of accumulation. You getting it? Okay, good. So now we have the 5 parts. Now what we'll do is that I'll try to explain the 5 parts one by one. Right? By the way, mantra that we are reciting is Tyatha Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhiswa. Tyatha means here is thus. Tyatha means here is thus. Right? What you want is here. Here is thus. Tyatha. Om. Om is consisted of 3 letters. A, U, Ma. Is consisted of 3 letters. These 3 letters symbolize. These 3 letters indicate your body, speech, and mind, and the body, speech, and mind of the enlightened beings. A, U, Ma. These 3 letters, they symbolize your body. A symbolizing your body. U symbolizing your speech. Ma symbolizing your mind. Likewise, A, U, Ma symbolize the body, speech, mind of the Buddhas, enlightened beings. So when you recite Om, this should be a reminder for you that I must transform this body into the body of the enlightened being. I must transform this speech into the speech of the enlightened being. I must transform the mind which is obscured by the mental defilements into the omniscient mind of the Buddhas, enlightened beings. This is what we should be reminded of as we recite this mantra Om. The next question is, how are we going to do that? How are we going to transform your body, speech, mind into the body, speech, mind of the enlightened beings? How are we going to do that? So this is by by cleansing my mind. Cleansing my mind. Undertaking the journey of cleansing the mind. So how? Cleansing the mind in 5 different steps. What are they? Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhiswaha. Right? Gate, Gate in English is go beyond, go utterly beyond, and establish your enlightenment. Go, Gate, Gate, go, Paragate, go beyond, Parasangate, go utterly beyond, and Bodhiswaha, establish your enlightenment. Okay, go beyond, go beyond, go utterly beyond, and establish your enlightenment. This is the meaning, right? So these 5, go beyond, go utterly beyond, and establish your enlightenment. These 5 indicate the 5 parts. Okay, so we will quickly do the 5 parts. We could explain the 5 parts, then we'll stop here. What is the first part? Part of accumulation, right? The first one is part of accumulation. Part of accumulation. So finally our job is to achieve this goal. This is your goal. For example, if your goal is to build a huge, say the massive dam for the community, to build a massive dam, first what we should do? We should get the materials, right? Get the materials, the cement, the bricks, then the steel. We have to gather the materials. We have to gather the materials. So to achieve the goal of enlightenment, we have to gather the materials. We have to accumulate the materials. Accumulate the materials of what? What materials are required? What materials is required? Wisdom and determination. Determination is known as method. Method and wisdom. We need these 2 things, wisdom and the method, right? And sometimes also referred to as the wisdom and the merit. Wisdom and the merit, or wisdom and the method. These 2 are required. So we have to gather, we have to accumulate as much of the wisdom, as much of the method, in order to prepare us to build this, the the castle of the enlightenment. This is the part of accumulation, where you have to accumulate as much merit as possible, as much wisdom as possible. Number one. What's number two?
Part of preparation.
Part of preparation. Okay, part of preparation we will keep for the time being. We'll keep aside for the time being. We'll switch to part number three. What's three?
Part of seeing.
Part of seeing. Okay. Let's say that, say, if I'm suffering from tuberculosis, right? Okay, you tell me whether what I'm doing is correct or not correct. Okay, I eat healthy food, right? I sleep on time, and then I don't take the unnecessary things like smoking. I stop smoking, alcohol, all these things, right? Okay, am I doing correct? Or something is missing? Huh? Medicine missing. Okay. So what? This is not a correct way of doing it? Eating the right food, healthy food, sleeping on time, and
It's not sufficient.
this is not sufficient. What should I be doing then?
Take the doctor advice.
Okay, take the advice of the doctors. Take the advice of the doctors. Very good. Okay. Okay, tell me, what will actually help me to get into my suffering? Taking good food or what? Huh? The medicines, right? And the medicines, okay, then, okay, now I've got the, now I've become wise. I got your advice. I have to take medicines, right? Okay, now I start drinking, I start doing all the other things by taking the medicines. And no food on time, no sleep, then I take the medicines. Is it correct or not correct? That's also not correct. So we have to have both things. The medicine is the actual thing which will actually remove the what? What? Bacteria. Okay, what is the technical term? Which bacteria is responsible for tuberculosis? Anyone from the medical or the nursing?
It's mycobacterium tuberculosis.
Huh?
It's mycobacterium tuberculosis. Mycobacterium tuberculosis.
Microbacterium.
Mycobacterium.
MYCO. Mycobacterium. Okay. So let's say that what actually removes these bacteria is the medicines. So the medicines are the factor to remove the problems. But this medicine must be supported by good the nutritious food and so forth. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Likewise, tell me, of the wisdom and the merit meaning unconditional love, enthusiasm to become enlightened and so forth, what is the actual path which can actually get rid of your mental defilements? Huh? Meditation, action,
How we see the things, like perception.
correct perception, which means wisdom. Wisdom. Anyone else? Okay, tell me. So, how can we decide whether it's meditation, whether wisdom, whether it's the what else? How do you decide? Huh? How do you decide? No idea. The doctor decides. Okay, the doctor decides. That's true. That's true. So we have to go to become enlightened, we have to go to doctors. Okay, so how to decide? Tell me. Say, for example, if I say that I have so much of fear, you please help me to remove my fear, right? Okay, then you bring bodyguards, right? Oh, Gishila, try to have no fear, we'll bring bodyguards for you, right? 100 bodyguards around me, still I'm afraid. What will you do? Huh? Still, then
Go to the root of fear. Go to the root of fear. What is causing the fear?
so how will you do that? You bring the screwdrivers and these things? What will you do? Yes? Change my mental attitude. Change my perception. Okay. How to change my perception? No, I'm not talking about my tuberculosis now. I'm talking about a different thing now. Say, suddenly I showed up. I'm a stranger. I showed up here, and then you know that I'm going to spend here like 1 month. Spend 1 month time here. I have no tuberculosis problem. I'm simply scared. And then you said, "Oh, Gishila, don't worry. We will give good protection to you. 100 bodyguards for you." Still, I'm scared. So how will you help me?
What are you fearful of?
We'll have a conversation.
We'll ask you what are you fearful of.
Wonderful, smart.
Identifying the reasons.
Okay, how will you identify the reasons? You will bring the doctors? The best thing is, what's your name? Mayank. Mayank. What Mayank said, just ask me, "Hey, Gishna, what's your problem? What are you afraid of?" Right? "Oh, I'm afraid of chikungunya." Then what should you be doing? Then it must be easy now, right? So you make sure that Gishna, don't worry, it's no mosquito-free zone. This is mosquito-free zone. No mosquitoes allowed in this, right? So because it's all over the good night and knockout. All these things are there, right? Don't worry. But no mosquitoes, right? Okay, now my fear will go away. So the point is, we have to see what remedies to apply. We have to know the nature of the problem. Okay, now tell me. Say, which of the two is the most? Which of the two is the actual path to take you from the gade to the next gade to the and so forth? Wisdom or the method? Huh?
Both.
For that we have to check the problem. What's the problem? What's the problem? Afflictive obscurations and accounative obscurations. Afflictive obscurations boil down to the self-grasping ignorance, and the accounative obscuration is subtle stains of the self-grasping ignorance. You're getting it? Something always to do with the self-grasping ignorance. Because it's related to self-grasping ignorance, what should be the counterforce? Wisdom. You're getting it? So therefore the wisdom to see the emptiness, this is the final path. So therefore the Buddha said that the wisdom of emptiness is the liberating path, and all others are ripening paths. Don't forget it. The Buddha said the wisdom of emptiness alone is the liberating path. This is the only path which will liberate you, and all others are ripening paths. To push this liberating path to what? Ripening paths like bodhicitta, unconditional love, right? Practice of impermanence, meditation impermanence, so forth. These are known as the ripening paths, and the wisdom of emptiness is the only liberating path. Don't forget it. Only liberating path. Okay. So now we see that the actual path is what? The wisdom of emptiness, right? So the wisdom of emptiness, what kind of wisdom of emptiness is required? What kind of wisdom of emptiness is required? Tell me. Okay, now tell me. Okay, so I want to particularly check with the newcomers, right? Okay, we'll do a quick exercise. We'll do a quick exercise, and you give an answer. The newcomers, not the right. Okay, quick. How many of you can do mathematical calculations? Huh? Don't worry, I will not give you big numbers. Very small, addition, subtraction, very easy. And that too below number 4 digit, you know. Number 4. How many of you are ready for that? Okay, do it. Do it. Don't verbally give the answer, right? Only at the end when I say what is the answer, then you give me an answer. Otherwise, you mentally keep doing it, right? Okay, ready? Ready? Okay, 2 plus 1. Don't say anything. Just do it mentally. Okay, again. Let's resume it. Let's do it again. 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 minus 2 plus 2 plus 2. What's the answer? Wow, that's amazing. Wow, you did it mentally, right? You did not write it. Huh? Okay. I promise not to complicate it more. The same same thing already. Same procedure. Okay. Okay, do it. 2 plus 1 plus 1 minus 2 plus 1 plus 3 minus 1 plus 2 plus 3 minus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3. What's the answer? Why you don't have the answer? Why? Hey, tell me, the newcomers. Huh? Huh? Because I'm too fast, right? Nobody's saying that we are slow. Right? You're fast. You do not say that I'm slow. Right? You do not say this. Okay, now say wisdom. Why do we have to cultivate this wisdom? Tell me. To counteract the negative force. What's the negative force? Self-grasping ignorance. You're getting it? At the moment, we may not be able to identify self-grasping ignorance, but we can identify the symptoms of self-grasping ignorance. What are the symptoms of self-grasping ignorance? Attachment, anger, jealousy, competitiveness, fear, anxiety. These are the symptoms of self-grasping ignorance. You're getting it? And how fast, how intense are the negative forces? Hey, how dull you are, how stupid you are. What is your response? Yes, I'm stupid. Or you will say, how dare you say this? Right? Right? At the moment you know that I'm joking. You go out and somebody tells you, your friend tells you, what stupid you are, you're just wasting all your time. You're going to Tibet house. What stupid thing that you're doing. You become so angry. How does the anger arise? How does it arise? Slowly. Oh, hey. Right? Hey, Mayank, should I become angry? Of course, yes. You do something so good and the other person is abusing you. Okay, let me meditate on anger. No, this is how the anger it is not how the anger arises. Tell me, how does the anger arise? Very fast. You're getting it? So negative forces are so fast. Negative forces are so fast. Then the countermeasure to overcome the negative forces equally must be very fast. You agree with me or not? Right? And the countermeasure, how fast is within you? Fast or very slow?
It's very slow.
Very slow. Right? Even with the similar method, it's very slow. With wisdom emptiness, even slower. Right? So wisdom emptiness is the remedy to overcome these negative forces. Negative forces, when they're so intense, so fast, and so high quality. Negative emotions, how qualitative they are? Incredibly high quality, right? So the counterforce as well should be high quality, it should be intense, it should be spontaneous. But in our case, it is not at all spontaneous. So we have to make it very spontaneous. You're getting it? Okay. Very spontaneous and very intense, because negative forces are so intense, right? But if somebody says, what a stupid thing that you're doing, then what is your reaction? Then you start becoming so angry, right? Very intensely angry, spontaneously angry. Okay, so this negative forces are so intense and so sophisticated and so spontaneous. So the positive counterforce as well should be very intense, spontaneous. What's the most intense version of the wisdom of emptiness? Direct experience of emptiness. You're getting it? Emptiness experience, there are two kinds. One is conceptual experience and the other one is non-conceptual experience. Non-conceptual experience of emptiness, direct experience of emptiness, non-dual experience of emptiness. These three are synonymous. Non-conceptual experience, direct experience of emptiness. Okay, with emptiness, only with emptiness. Non-conceptual, direct, non-dual. Non-conceptual, direct, non-dual. These three are synonymous. Non-conceptual experience of emptiness, direct experience of emptiness, non-dual experience of emptiness. These three are synonymous. So we need to have this wisdom. Wisdom which sees emptiness directly. You're getting it? We see emptiness directly in its bare form. So we have the what's the third part?
Path of seeing.
Path of seeing. Path of seeing means path which sees the emptiness directly. This is a path of seeing, right? Only when you have this path, where you see emptiness directly, at that point, negative mental defilements will be got rid of. Okay, so till that point, can we get rid of the mental defilements? Till that point, till we reach the path of seeing, can we get rid of the mental defilements? Yes, no? No? Okay, what do you mean by getting rid of the mental defilements? What do you mean by, say for example, if there are the sandal slippers outside, suddenly if says, oh, the president of India is coming, paying visit to Tibet House, right? And we have to remove the slippers there, and he's already very nearby. So how feasible is it for us to remove the slippers? We cannot. But the point is that it should not look odd, it should not look dirty. So what do you do? One way of removing these slippers is by covering this with a nice cloth, put some flowers on it. You agree with me? One way of doing it is just put a nice cloth on this and then put some flowers on this. It looks nice. This is one way of removing the dirt. Removing the dirt is still inside, right? But the purpose of removing the dirt is fulfilled. Another one is actually removing the slippers, removing the dirt. You're getting it? There are two things. So one is the temporary subsiding and the other one is uprooting. Two, removing, eradication, abandoning. They are happening on two levels. One is temporarily subsiding and number two is uprooting the defilements. Two. Now the uprooting happens only at the path of seeing because we got the countermeasure to actually uproot the mental defilements. That happens at the which path? Path of seeing, right? And otherwise before that we do any practice in order to nullify, mitigate the contaminated karmas, negative karmas. They are like temporary removal, temporary subsiding, right? Okay, so with this, that is the path of seeing. So now from this you discover something. What is so important in us to discover, to see emptiness directly. This becomes very important. You're getting it? Okay, so what is the second part now? Path of preparation. Path of preparation means preparing to see emptiness directly. You are getting it? Second path is a path to prepare yourself to see emptiness directly so that the actual cleansing of the mental defilements will start. Path of preparation. Okay, now with the path of seeing, it is like you are getting the proper medicine. And the doctor says, okay, now these are the medicines for your tuberculosis. If you take this medicine, then your problem will be over, right? And then you take the first dose. And the next day, the problem is over, not over. Huh? Next day, it's not over. Because the doctor said, if you take this medicine, the problem will be over. You took the medicine. Huh?
For a time period.
So you have to, there is the course. You have to complete the course, right? You have to complete the course for how many months? Huh? Any nurses? Raise your hands. Any nurses? No nurses. No nurse. Okay, 6 months. And maybe slowly it may become 3 months. If the efficiency of the medicine can be built. Okay, for timing is like 6 months. So when you say that you take the medicine, I took the medicine once, but the problem is not over. Because why the problem is not over is that this medicine works, but it works only if you are very consistent with this. You have to repeat this medicine. You're getting it? Okay, see emptiness directly. Seeing emptiness directly is like the medicine. So the medicine has to be repeated. Seeing emptiness directly has to be repeated. What is the fourth part? Part of meditation. Part of meditation means repeating, meditate, repeat. The wisdom of emptiness that you have, the non-dual wisdom of emptiness that you have, you repeat it over and over again. This is known as meditation, part of meditation. Okay. So with this, then what happens after completing six months? Then what happens? Tuberculosis over. Should you have to take the medicine once more? No, no more. Don't take the medicine anymore. No more having to take the medicines. So there's a fifth part. What's the fifth part? Part of no more learning. So at that point you have already accomplished your goal. You don't have to learn anything new now. You don't have to learn anything now. There's the no more learning part. You're getting it? At that point, if you're following the minor path, you have become full awakened one. You've become a Buddha. And if you are seeking the Shravaka path, you've achieved the nirvana. Personal liberation meaning nirvana. They will achieve nirvana. That is the goal, right? Okay, I will stop here. Now we will quickly do the end direction prayer. Yes. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 questions. Yes.
The fifth path is called the path of no more learning. Now, you said that this is already you've reached the end or the destination. Why is it still called a path?
Okay, this is a good question. Okay, this is a good question. Why is it still known as a path? Okay, so this is goal, right? This is goal. Okay, say the goal, is the journey of the cleansing the mind. Journey of cleansing the mind. So when we reach the point immediately preceding the final goal, the point immediately preceding the final goal, which is known as the diamond-like, Vajra-like samadhi. Vajra-like samadhi. Vajra meaning indestructible. So with this samadhi, the next moment guaranteed that your goal will be achieved. This is known as the Vajra-like samadhi or diamond-like samadhi. Okay. So with this diamond-like samadhi, to put it very simply, we see that the path is of 2 kinds. The path, which is actually, okay, let's say it's like this. Say the path of the actual combating with the negativities, the path where you combat with the negativities, and that you win over the negativities. So the first path is known as the uninterrupted path, and the second one is known as the path of release. Path of release. The first one is the uninterrupted path, and the second one is known as the path of release. You're getting it? Path of release. Okay. Path of release means that, say, you are still, actually you are it's a process of mental cleansing. Process of mental cleansing, and say the part of uninterrupted path. So then the combat is happening. Then part of release is when you are freed, and then that they cannot come back anymore. So that also becomes the process. This is also a part of the process, right? So the process, the path used to be the same. The process is still a part of the process. Okay, any more questions? Yes.
How, I mean, I know it's first day of my class, but how is it possible to come to a stage where one realizes that one is awake and one doesn't have to fight the negative forces which are of very high quality and they keep manifesting, even negative energies they manifest. So how can we come to a situation where we say we don't need to have that, we don't need to practice anymore, or we don't need to meditate anymore, or is it the meditation is constant? Because to me, if I understand the path of no more learning, that to me would mean that my learning, my practice, everything has come to its final goal, and then I'm like,
okay,
I don't know. That's my understanding. Could be wrong, sir.
okay. Let's say that nobody here speaks English. Nobody here speaks English, and then you see somebody speaking English very fluently, right? And then we try to learn English by reading books, A, B, C, D, like this, right? And then we do this exercise, no teacher, no other possibilities. Then it's already 3 years ago, 3 years pass, still is what your name is, right? Your name what is, like this structure, all just haphazard. Okay, so there we can if you learn it nicely, then you can speak very fluently like this. You don't have to think, automatically will happen, right? How can I know that I'll reach a point where I don't have to, put any effort? At the moment I have to put effort like this, right? Okay, so this is as you go along the journey. Now, at this point, we have actually been through this. All of us, we've been through these steps. We all been through these steps. Now, say the rhythm. Do you have to think about? Okay, how will it become spontaneous? Or it has already become spontaneous. All is spontaneous. So things that we have to follow the steps. Follow the steps, particularly with the wisdom of emptiness. This is not something that we have to believe in. We don't have to believe. We don't have to start with the belief. It actually can be rationally realized. It has to be rationally realized. Never it will come to us through belief. It has to come through the rational understanding. Through rational understanding, once you get what emptiness is, you practice this, is the human psyche that will become familiar to you, right? Once it becomes familiar, then like the fire, as the fire becomes stronger, then the darkness will go away. This is the nature, the nature of the law of the oppositions, how the oppositions they fight, right? Then when this thought about just as the negative thought that we have is so spontaneous, when we habituate in the positive thoughts, they'll also become the spontaneous. When they become spontaneous, then negative thoughts will become weak and will eventually disappear, right? So this is how it happens. The point, what is more important is whether or not we can reach to a point where we can see everything like a dream, right? If you get this confidence, then the other part will follow. That's easier. Okay, maybe last question if somebody has. Yes.
Kishana, you have actually explained about that wisdom of emptiness, the only liberating path.
Yes.
And others are rightening paths.
Yes.
So I'm not very clear about that. So can you explain a little bit more about rightening paths like Bodhicitta and all these help to liberate us?
Okay, liberating path and which helps to liberate you.
So these are the rightening paths are helping us to liberate.
Yes, yes,
achieve
yes.
the liberty.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, like bodhicitta and what other parts are? I just
Like meditation impermanence, meditation suffering nature, then the practice of generosity, practice of morality,
all these parts.
patience, and so forth, all these things. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
I was doing meditations once and I reached a state of bodilessness, total bodilessness. This was about 3-4 years back. But see, I have a illness in my upper part of the body. I worked on that portions also. And it's very heaviness. And I don't know, I do my own researches, my own therapies, my own techniques. I've learned here or there. How, my question is this about emptiness. How that state was, what I'm talking about, that state was totally bodiless. Like, at that time, for half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, I felt like, you know, if the whole universe, if I'm the king of the whole universe, even there is nothing. There is nothing. And those, it cannot be explained in words. But I'm still working on some things, which is purchased in these portions. So how, you know, what are techniques except for Vipassana? I don't know. I've tried Vipassana also. What are the techniques or tools which we can work on these portions? Is there any methods that you've come across in your travels?
Okay, actually this is a very serious question. So I think this has two parts. One is their experience of the bodilessness, right? So experiences are two kinds. One which spontaneously arises and then it goes away on its own, and it's not really like the sustainable. So these are indicators, right? What should be the real part is something which is in your hand. Whenever you want it, it should come, right? And if possible, influence of that must be sustainable 24 hours. If that happens, this is the real part. Whereas the other parts, well, suddenly you have the feeling of the bodilessness. And some people, they, you know, just for no reason, they have to feel as though like everything is just your own mind. In some cases, you feel your mind floating somewhere in the sky, like this. There are very strange experiences there. It's not that these people are telling lies, right? And some may be telling lies, that's fine, that's a different story. But generally speaking, these experiences are very precious, but it doesn't mean that this is the ultimate. These are the indicators, indicating you towards something else. You have to look for what that is, right? So when somebody shows with the finger, these are the prayer flags. Don't look at the finger. Finger is just the indicator, right? With the finger, you should be seeing the flags, not the finger. So these are the indicators, right? So the indicators, through this, you have to go to subtler practices, and finally we see that, say, these problems that you're having can be for many reasons. Can be genetics, can be because of the effects on your brain, can be psychological, can be physiological. It can have various factors that you have to first of all rule out that it is not genetics, that is not because of the brain the problems, right? And physiological is related to the energy. Energy is related to your thinking, right? So that is something to be rectified on the basis of the meditation. And meditation, there are so many kinds. What meditation is required? All these things we have to, so you really need to sit with someone who is really experienced, and on that basis, they get the information, right? Okay. So whereas if it is genetics, then genetics, and also with the brain, the problems, for that matter, then, say, while you can practice, we never know. with the practice, and of course, if your practice becomes very refined, they can even change the genetic settings. They can even change them, the brain, the neurological circuits. We can change the connections because of the very refined practice. For that matter, we have to know what emptiness is, what bodhicitta is, the intensity and the proper system, but the systematic approach. All these things are required. This is one thing. Whereas if our meditation, say what I'm talking about, the meditation with the wisdom of emptiness, bodhicitta, intensity, these things are lacking. If the meditation is more like a general meditation, then we can't expect to bring about the change in the genetic setup that you have. We cannot think of changing them simply because of these mild meditations. So for that, I say sometimes puja also helps. Performing pujas, they help. That is more a generic kind of advice. But if there is physiological, then the chance is much more that you can be healed. Right? Then we have to check. Okay, we'll stop here. Quick direction prayer, page 278. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All powerful chariots, Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samadabhadra too realize things as they are, also I dedicate all these merits in the best way that I may follow their perfect example. So virtue with the dedication praised as the best by the victorious ones, thus gone 3 times, so that I might perform the noble Bodhisattva's deeds. May the Supreme Bodhicitta that has not erased and arise and grow, may that which has arisen not diminish but increase forevermore. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of Guru Buddha and lead all beings without exception into their enlightened state. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization of the deeds and the prayers of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas over 3 times, and to the upholding of the Dharma of the teaching and realization. May in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfectly in the 2 stages. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate a mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem, I confess the negativities individually, I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings, I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. The path of union of emptiness and compassion is loosely explained by the protector Buddha, Dhamma, and the beings of the snow land. You are the lotus holder Tenzin Gyatso, we supplicate you that your wishes are fulfilled spontaneously. May the operations of evil thoughts and deeds of the negative forces, humans or non-humans, who herb our merits through perverted prayers, and be truly vanquished through the path of the truth of the 3 jewels. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, may enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of the stages and the paths, may quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the Manjushri and be able to uphold the Dharma in general and the teachings of dependent origination in particular, even in the course of my life. Okay. See you Wednesday.